Hi, this is the Trade Ideas Trading Room recap for Thursday, March the 12th. My name is Barry Anderson. I'm the moderator of the Trading Room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. All right, well, I am still in a trade. If you were in the room, you know the trade I'm in, and I'm still having to really watch it closely. But let's go over some of the other trades that were today, and of course the big one. But just before that, I just want to show you the trade that I'm still in. This was a really scary one, 26.81. I'm actually in at 26.34. I have taken out some. I don't have it marked here at 23.68, but I have to keep an eye on this one because this was a very spready one, and I'm hoping that it can pop through 27. But at any rate, let's take a look at LL Lumber Liquidators because this was the definitely the trade of the day, I guess. So certainly the most exciting one. Now, if you don't know the story, I'm just going to show the daily chart here first. Now, here is where 11 trading days ago it was $70. And it in 9 trading days, it got all the way down to $28. And again, the reaction was because of a report came out saying that their levels of formaldehyde exceeded, I think it was California standards. So it got immediately trashed down to here, and then to further boot, CBS or 60 Minutes came out with an expose, a report on them, and that added to the devastation. But if you were trading the stock or you've been following the story, you did know that today the company was going to come out or was going to have a scheduled press release at 10 o'clock. So who knew what they were going to say? But I'm sure a lot of people were hoping they would say some right things that would perhaps help the stock recover. But look at the wild trading action in the pre-market today. Here it is in the pre-market, and it got all the way down to $30.54, and then in the next these are 5 minute candles. So the next 25 to 30 minutes, it recovered all the way up to 37.55. So a $7 swing. And then the sellers took over again. And again, this is 8:15, so there's still the pre-market action right here. And then here is where the stock opened. Here's the big volume candle or the volume bar. Bit of a sell-off ahead, excuse me, ahead of the conference call. And then the stock was actually halted right there. I mean, here's 10 o'clock right here, so it was halted just before the conference call, and I guess it was halted for about 40 minutes. Stock opened. Here's the big volume bar, or right here actually is the first volume bar, and the stock went up. Obviously, whatever they said, I didn't listen to the call. I have no idea what they said, but the stock went up initially, and then the sellers took over and tried to sell it back down, but then the buyers took over and brought it back up. And so I decided, on the emotion of it all, just to take the trade here. I called it in the room, said this was going to be a lotto trade for me, and I got in at 36.24 and sold almost immediately at 37.05, and then the other bit at 37.74, 36.74. So a good trade. I know other people took the trade down here, but I had enough of this. I mean, who knows where this is going to go. Just trying to get my mouse to move over because the market still has another half an hour. It's trying to hold $36 right here. And certainly this has to be watched because, again, we're coming from $70 about 11 trading days ago. So this has to be watched. So let's take a look at some of the other less frantic trades. SBGI. Originally, this came from my strong stock window. It's not there anymore. And I tried this right here. Looked good. Here's a little bit of a consolidation and then the little pop through consolidation. I took the trade at 27.64, but I stopped myself out right here at 27.49. So this one did not work. Very choppy one throughout the day. It did break through 27.64 again, but I'd sort of had my fill of it. And I know went over 28, but it's fallen back down. So just didn't work. I would take this trade again though because it looked good on this little pullback here and then the pop, but it just didn't work. INGN, that's too bad because this one worked really well later on. Now, INGN was one of the ones that I had identified in the pre-market as something to watch as a potential reversal. It is still down $3.45. But here's 33.89 and here's 30. So it was down about 55 or 55. It was down about $5 at one point, even maybe $6. So when it hit 30, started watching it a lot more closely. This candle up here got me a little bit interested, and I took the trade, but it was extremely spready. I mean, the difference between the bid and the ask was really, really tough to commit to it. So it's hard to see right here, but I took the trade at 31.76. Now, it looks like it popped up to 32, and it did, but the bid never got above 32. And so on this action right here, I exited the trade for a big 4 cent gain. And look what happened later on. I suppose I should have got in right there. I know other people did. More power to them. But to me, it was still whippy. But boy, I mean, at 33.89, and my original buy-in was at 31.76. So there's a $2 difference. But I guess I could say it's one that got away. But it was really a tough one to commit to. But I'm glad that there were some that did. LQ was another one that a bit of a disappointment for me. LQ is one that I actually talked about in the pre-market because it was one that hit a lifetime high yesterday. And I noticed, and the lifetime high had been at, I believe, well, it was at $23. So it had held 23. Well, here it is on the pre-market. It was down to 22.95. So it was holding that area. So I thought that it might be have a good shot. So some of these ones that are hitting lifetime highs, even if you keep watching them the next day, even if they didn't continue on from the lifetime high, but they pulled back and then they go through it again, they can give us definitely a good trade out of it. So I was really liking this pullback right here, and then when it popped up, I actually said in the room if it could get up to this point right here, 23.30, I would take the trade, and so I did take the trade right here at 23.30. It looked fabulous. I actually thought it was going to get up to the 27 level. Got up to 23.57. And, pretty consistent right here. Not too much action, which is good. I like to see the consolidation and then a level to pop from. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this candle this really blindsided me, I have to admit. But I was able to get out at 23.46. So I took a profit on it, but certainly nothing that I expected. I was really hoping that it was going to challenge the 24 level. But a gain's a gain, I guess. But it definitely did chop around. SYN. Let's see, what is it doing now? Yeah, a bit of a disappointment. Um, Watched it in the pre-market. It was sort of holding $3, and here it is at 2.96. And when it regained $3, I decided right on this action to take the trade at 3.09. It looked really good. I mean, it got up to 3.17. But I was looking for a little bit more. I know, as I said yesterday, if maybe I should have taken some off here, but I was really looking for maybe up to the 330 level before I was going to take any off. But anyway, I went down through here, decided to hold on to it to, certainly if it went down through $3, I was going to get out. But on this action right around here, I decided to finally exit the trade at $3.02, and it went down to 2.96. It has recovered, and I may watch it tomorrow just to see what happens with it, but certainly a little too frantic action for me, but disappointed that it didn't keep on. Now, a good trade was, and let me just, oh boy, this one is really working out well. I love this live television almost. Oh boy, this one is really working out well. It just went down again. We were hoping that this one would get through 27. I'm still in this trade from 26.34. This is still on the list. I had identified it. I told everybody to start watching this one as a potential reversal trade. This was when it was at actually $26, okay? That way down in this level here. And I took the trade, so I know I'm jumping ahead here, but I did take the trade at 26.34. It was a really tough hold though, because the spread got, pretty wide at times, 17, 18 cents. And I actually almost exited several times when it had the bid hit actually 26.30, because that was the low. I think that's still the low of the day. 26.30 is still the low of the day. But it never got there, and I know I don't have it marked here, but I'm actually out some at 26, right here at 2668. So right at this level, I took some out, but now it's back up through 27, so I'm going to hold on. If it gets back down through 2688, I'll probably exit. But the spread is still bad on this one, but I'm going to hold on. So ACAD was the other one that turned out to be a really nice trade. I know other people are still in this. This again was one of the ones up and down the most in dollars. Look, it's still down $9.84. We identified it in the pre-market as something that got really beat up. I think the CEO resigned. Nobody likes to see that when it's out of the clear blue. And I think they have to, I think there was some kind of restatement of accounting issues. So obviously, something that was tough to trade here. Watched come all the way down here, though, down to $33.30. This is the action that kind of got me interested. 33.35 on that candle and 33.32 on this candle. So it looked like it was putting at a bottom. And is that the bottom? Yeah, 33.33 is still the low of the day. So I decided to take the trade right here at 33.50. And I exited some at 33.76 and the other point at 34.57. So a great trade. I know others, though, well, this action definitely had to get me out because, no, I have to make sure. No, I'm wrong a little bit here. I got out here at 33.76. I took out some at 34.57, and then the balance here at 34.45. It's feeling pretty good because it went all the way down to $34. Now it has popped back up, and I know some people are in it, but this action got me out. There's no way I was going to hold on to it. Who knows what could have happened there. But more power to the people that got in, probably over the top, in this candle here and over the top of that candle, this red candle over the top there probably was a decent one, but you would have been, it would have been a bit of a challenge to hold on as you saw this red candle forming and coming down. But anyway, a nice trade nonetheless, and I know a lot in the room took it. So let's uh, let's see again my CMTL. I know it's still holding 27. So, the market's got another half an hour left in it, so I'll have to keep an eye on it. But anyway, exciting day, especially with lumber liquidators. I encourage everybody to keep watching that going forward. Bring back the cover, and again, here's how to get into the room, and you can log in with your Facebook or your Twitter account. And I hope to see you in the trading.